Okay, in this video, it's time to hang doors and drawer fronts. Cabinets are all built, drawer slides are in, drawer boxes are all fit with the front clips, the locking devices. Before we get to that though, there's one thing that if you have a vanity base, sink base that has a false front, there's going to be 2 plywood blocks either in with the hardware or in with the cabinet. And what they're for is you need to shoot them on the inside of the frame, one on each side. And what that's for is when you apply your false front, you screw through. They're not pre-drilled, I pre-drilled these. But you would screw through the block, and that's what actually holds your false front on. So we had our blocks installed, taken, line up with our right margins. Depending on your overlay, your margins are going to be different. These happen to be 1.25" overlay. So on the edges we have 1/4 inch margin in between drawers and false fronts, and doors we have 1/2 inch margin. Butt doors, so we have a shy 1/8 inch between them. So anyhow, you can take and install these. That way when you go to put your false front on, that's how it's attached with these plywood blocks. So once we got it lined up, got our margins right, put squeeze clamps on, held it in place, and then ram screws. So that's what the squeeze clamps were used for. And I just wanted to tell you about installing these prior to your doors and drawers on sink bases or vanity bases, false fronts. As far as your drawers, I have a jig that I drill all my drawers depending on what drawer front I'm using. These drawer fronts happen to be just slab drawer fronts. So where I have mine drilled, there's no chance of me coming out in to a panel. If these drawer fronts were 5-piece to match the doors, this isn't as thick here. So you got to do your layout for your hole position according to what drawer front you're going to use. So just keep that in mind, because you don't want to drill all these holes and then realize, hey, I might come out into my panel, so you have all them extra holes for nothing. I like an oversized hole with a drawer front screw. It's basically a screw with a washer on, and that lets me make any micro adjustments. Some guys will drill just a strong 1/8 inch, 3/16 hole and just screw them in permanent. As far as adjustment, once they're on, there's plenty of adjustment in the drawers, in the slides, on these front clips. If you need to raise your drawer, you would slide this plastic tab towards the back. If you went too far, you can just pull it back, but it'll click. You'll see when it's in, locked into your actual slide, that you can move it in small increments. Again, I already explained there's wheels underneath on your front clips. This will move your drawer front left and right. So just keep that in mind prior to drilling any holes in your drawer boxes for mounting your drawer fronts. I can pop one out here. You can see the washer head screw, and with that oversized hole, it lets me do any micro adjustment. Okay. As far as your doors, just want to make sure whatever bench you're working on, have some foam, nice soft cloth. You're going to get your hinging in your hardware pack. Again, this is 1.25" overlay. The hinges, the doors are pre-drilled. You just push them down in use a square them up to your style. And then take a self-centering bit, get them drilled, and all the screws for screwing the hinges to the doors. All the hardware is in each pack. There's also the two bigger screws that when you put it around your face frame, you're going to have to pre-drill your frame and run your longer screws in that actually, you know, holds the door on. So you just put it on, pre-drill it, and screw them on. So get your doors hung, drawer fronts on. Again, I hate to keep repeating myself, but be very careful where you drill your drawer blocks to attach your drawer front based on what drawer front you're going to have. You don't want to come through a panel and, you know, have the expense of reordering. So it's money and time. One other thing, when we put our back socket on for our drawer slide, I had Junes put two screws in the top and bottom center oblong holes. And once we put all our drawers in, got them adjusted left, right, in and out where I'm happy with them, now's a good time to make them permanent. And there's multiple holes around the sides of this. You can add another 1 or 2 screws in through that once you're happy with how the drawers and everything fit. So don't forget to do that to make them permanent. And again, it's pretty basic, just take your time. Again, depending on which overlay you go with, in this area, 1¼ is pretty common overlay onto the frame. So the margins are always going to be different, but there's a sheet you can print out or look at on my website as far as where the position of the doors, drawers, and any false fronts need to be. So again, just take your time, think about it before you drill anything, and everything will go together nice, and you'll end up with a beautiful cabinet when you're done. All the hinges are Bloom soft close. Same with the Bloom tandem slides. Just start shutting them and they pull themselves shut. So that pretty much wraps up doors, drawer fronts. And if you ever have any questions, not sure about something, definitely give me a call, email me, whatever it takes. I can walk you through it and answer any questions. So that about wraps this up. Hopefully it helped.